It was quicker this time. All right. Good. Hi. Okay. Sorry about the interference, folks. But recently I was on YouTube and I have a little bit of shyness, believe it or not. My boyfriend's name is White Star of the West, and he got his name from Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali gave to him when he was in college. As you may have heard, the last episodes were made by him about his college years. And once again, I want to let you know, we wear this mask to hide our identity and to tell people that it's more of a fashion and a safety net for people to wear masks, unlike Donald Trump. For those people out there, I don't care what he says, he's not immune. He's just a rich dude who takes some pills. And I am going to introduce you Frogger Bear. I have recently introduced you Obama and Michelle Bear. Lucky you hear me. And I have Bumblebee Bear. But recently, Bumblebee's antenna got torn off by a mommy by accident. But you know what? This is gonna seem weird, but Frogger and Bumblebee, well, Bumblebee, he has antennas, are dating. Yay! But this may seem weird to you that a frog and Bumblebee could date, but this is the only girlfriend that Frogger could get. But unlike Obama and Michelle, the last two in the last episode, they are not as famous as Bumblebee. Bumblebee and Frogger are not as famous as Michelle and Obama, the black and brown bear. I will bring them on some other time, but right now, let's get a little started for this guy. This is Frogger. He reminds me of Trump so much because Trump has a big head. And, but this doesn't remind me of his girlfriend at all. So these two are not really like Donald Trump and Melania. They're not like them at all. But this Frogger reminds me of Trump with his big head. Sorry, Trump. Sorry, Frogger. But that's his real name. Frogger is his real name. Anyway. Anyway, folks, sorry about stalling. I was really proud of the way Joe Biden handled his debate with Trump. He held his ground, and I thought, I'm voting for Biden because Trump just likes to make a jerk of himself. And he thinks he can talk big and bad, but really he's a sick guy and he doesn't know when he's going to kill over next. And he has all this money to where he can buy 5 doses of medicine for over $2,500. I just read on my phone about $2,500 for Valiuri, a vaccine pill made for COVID-19. Well, Trump had that. Now they're announcing it. But if you remember, he was going to give it out for free on one of his debates. So yeah, I think we'll just go and give that out for free. No, he's rich. He's got billions of dollars, which he's gonna be in debt after all the lawsuits. And after all the lawsuits, after he gets out of office, he's gonna be broke. And even his niece is gonna sue him for a lot of lawsuits. But anyway, I was proud of Biden yesterday. I think he stands a chance. So I give my ballot on Tuesday, and I was gonna vote Libertarian, but I am leaning towards Biden now. He's my guy. And this is a new bear that we got. I had to take off the shirt because it had a company that I went to and gave me this, but I didn't want to advertise it. Anyway, we call it Snazzy Bear. It's a really cute bear, but he's really limber. Limber. Anyway, to get enough of Jim's time, White Star of the West. Are you coming, darling? Yeah, we're listening to Pandora. We're listening to Psychedelic Furs Radio on Pandora, and they're like the best radio station. You get tired of the radio station, turn it on Pandora. Make sure you pair up your stereo with your phone, and you can get Pandora, or you can get it on the computer. All right, are you ready yet, honey?
Yeah. Please. Just slow down now.
Okay. I think I might have to turn that. Okay. All right, here's my sweetheart, the White Star of the West.
Oh, keyboard's still on. Don't bother turning it off. I mean, I want to demonstrate something that I think most of that I don't know how to play yet.
I think I turned that on anyway.
No, I didn't just stop that. Here I am, people. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, right there on the screen. Jim White Star Bauer. The point of this page is that well, the main point of it is is to show off her teddy bears because they're way cute. And she's cute too. By the way, yeah. So, what are things that happen today? Well, not much happened really. Now, see, my eye doctor is, I'm legally blind, and for years I was blind, almost completely blind in this eye. Well, sometime during April last year, for some reason, I don't know about that. For some reason, I started getting my vision back in my right eye. Well, possibly due to CBD, but because I started using it about that time. I know the owner of the CBD shaman store here downtown claims that one of her customers who was using it used it for like 3 months, started getting his colors back, but then he quit showing up, so I don't know what happened to her after that. Almost all eye doctors refuse to believe me because this is like dogma. It's like that. It is like how the fundamentalists approach. And so if it's not in the Bible, it didn't happen. If it's in the Bible, everything is literally true. Screw that. I'm fighting this thing off, but really, that's all wrong. We all know it.
Who?
Uh, people like say there's some of the evangelists who support Trump. See, they promote this stuff and what they want. They want to put they don't want evolution in science textbooks, either that or putting something from their religion called what's it called, divine insanity or something like that. Actually, there is such a thing. It's very ancient. It goes back to religious or something called not the clown theology. I guess it's clown theology, but the idea is that God is a clown. Okay, well, God's supposed to be everything, so I suppose God be a clown could be a clown anytime. Anyway, oh yeah. So yeah, as I was saying about my eyes, well, the last three visual fields tests I had compared to the stuff from previous years, which has all been archived, do show that a lot of vision came in, not necessarily 3 times. It keeps recurring. Sometimes someone gives me medication. There's like contraindicated for glaucoma, and then for my vision will go away, and it starts growing back. Um, I'm not sure how this occurs or why. I'll leave that up to the doctors because that's their business. Anyway, see, the point I would make though is that like, okay, so here's the thing, like, what is this for my spirit? Like, a while back I finished listening to the Quran in audiobook. Why not do the holy book of Islam? So, well, I was curious as to what it said because I thought, well, if Muhammad told me the light side of the west, he said it was a prophecy. He said, word for the prophecy has been fulfilled. A white star will rise in the west. But if he said prophecy, I meant for him at least, it came straight from the Quran. Well, I listened to it all the way through, and it's like, well, yeah, I don't know if it's directly because I sometimes space out and forget what I'm doing, but it certainly is implied, if not outright said, because the Quran showed it about the third way through. Um, there's stuff about the comets. They're supposed to show the end of the world is coming. Well, back in the time around the turn of the 6th century CE, well, there were a lot of comets, and they thought that was the end of the world. Well, anyways, so yeah, but to go on like that, not like that, but there's something cool in there. Wait, we can back to the comments. Yeah, it's also in the last part. It's an apocalyptic. So I just band that went apocalypse. I didn't try to play the keyboard. So see, because I'm legally blind, but that one did. That's because there's no keyboard. See, I'm poor. I really bad, but I'm trying to teach myself to play the keyboard totally by ear, except for a few lessons in piano I had years ago. So might take a while, but the band Apocalypse is in my book, Divine Warfare, which was one time thinking of just starting all thing and submitting it somewhere else. I don't know, universities, PODs don't pay that much. So right now, I think I'll just keep it pretty much the same. Just once I find an agent, then I want him to pick up with me later on because her father loved the book. I sort of let herself because did I tell the YouTube people this story before?
Oh, what?
About how little Ali, how I sent that book to Muhammad Ali?
Yeah.
I did. I told them this before on the TV screen, like right now.
Don't get no as a recap.
Oh, well, maybe you missed it last time, but I suppose if you missed last time, we can just back up and see the old story. So I won't go on into that much more. So the cool part of that is that, yeah, about the apocalypse. Is that, well, say, one thing a lot of Christians don't realize is that the Muslims accept the four Christians' gospels as divinely inspired. For the Torah, the Jewish scrolls form pretty much the basis of the Old Testament. So why do you still go around hating Muslims so much? It's no different from fundamentalism or Catholicism than maybe the Mormons are. So I don't understand. I mean, there's this whole nonsense going around here. Well, that Muslim means terrorist. That's bullshit. Because I'm not declaring myself to be a Muslim. I'm not declaring myself not to. Yeah, but really, what I think is cool is in the Quran somewhere. See, they talk about Moses, how he had to take all these people out of Egypt to a foreign land. Well, that's cool. But yeah, so yeah. See, they're a wizard back there in ancient Egypt. I thought that was so cool because really, yeah, it's just like one of my goals in life was to become not just a published fantasy and science fiction writer, but make my living on it. And so, well, so yeah, Wizards in Ancient Egypt, that sounds cool. It's like good setup. Well, sort of like Uriah Heep said in this one, The Wizard. It starts with the lion, like he was the wizard of 1,000 kings. I like that. We couldn't call it exactly. So, he was the wizard of King Tutankhamun, something like that. That'd be cool. In fact, I want to use that as the first volume of a whole series I want to write. Connected somehow to my master's thesis, which was again a piece of science fiction, which the undergraduate version was better, I think, because I actually got special honors for it. See, one student from each department, every time there's a complication, is enters as a special honors student. That means I was at the very top of my class. And you know what did it? Marijuana. Medical marijuana. Because, well, right now in the state where I live, there's a ballot initiative that would legalize it and tell you for people over 21. So I think that's cool. Everyone out there should vote for it. I also only live in the same state I do. Anyway, yeah. So, anyway, getting on with it. Well, is a lot of people I know, like say my brother Joe, that there's a lot of conservatives like him seem to feel that the initial CNN should stand for the Communist News Network. Maybe I said this before, but we should call it Fox News, maybe the Nazi News Network, which brings us to another thing there. Well, another thing is that who's the head of the Nazi Klan? That'd be Rush Limbaugh. Well, he certainly acts like a Nazi sometimes. So like he's like the head of the Ku Klux Klan. Sort of got some drugstore truck driver man, which Muhammad prayed out of his window one night, like 4:20 a.m., like 420 decibels. It went just too long. He's a drugstore truck driving man, and he's the head of the Ku Klux Klan. So I'm not sure how this applies to Trump, but really, he took a lot of his money for his first company from the Klan. But anyway, give back to the Nazi Klan. So yeah, so this guy Russell, I think he's the Nazi Klan newsman. Because that's all his stuff is his Nazi Klan stuff. I never heard what it was about. It made sense. And obviously just stuff he makes up. As he goes on, like Hitler. He doesn't Hitler. He used statistics a lot. But he lied a lot. The statistics he made up were just like he made up on the spot. So yeah. This is how Trump operates. He puts all these great things and he lies about them. Like, okay, so yesterday on the last debate, what happened? Okay, all of a sudden he decided to keep pre-existing conditions. That's a load of rot. Because you think about it, really, how come I said a senator is running from this state? What's his name? Dame, something like that. Or the Republican senator. Okay, so here's what the ads on the radio show. They say that, well, what do you do? Okay. He claims they will always keep pre-existing conditions, same way as the president did. So what happened after he said that? He voted 4 times to repeal previous whatever they call it, parallel existence, or whatever. He voted precedent conditions. He voted 4 times to do away with that. Now what he doing? This is an election year, so all of a sudden he changed his tune. Now he wants to have wants to keep pre-existing conditions. Okay, then if that's true, why did he lie about it 4 times ago? It makes no sense. Yeah. So anyway, uh, but I do want to get into something that's confused a lot of people, especially people in this domain, because there's a lot of people here like to listen in on my conversations and then spread everything around the whole place. They want to do, they laugh at me. It's not well. Um, but anyway, there's mostly one person who has this, and I think he's started pretty soon. But anyway, so um, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I call something like economic and political behavior. So a lot of people want to know how economics and politics, for that matter, can be guided by the rules of behaviorism. Because they say, well, economics is money and behaviorism is part of your mind. So there's no connection. Okay, but well, I'm sort of that there is. It's like a metaphor, if you will, but anyway, metaphors are the building blocks of what you call it, heuristics. And those can be described as rules of thumb, whereas algorithms are like precise equations. In any case, it's like the heuristics for evolution and cognition are pretty much identical. That was put by Winsett, I don't know how many years ago, but a proof is a mathematical entity that follows certain laws. So mostly laws of logic. Okay, so there's no way he can be wrong. That's maybe the Holy Book says somewhere that he is, and well, in that case, I think that's science over the Holy Book because that's true to what you say about the Holy Book, then you're wrong because matter is much more visible than spirit. A lot of people think spirit is invisible. I can agree with them. So yeah, read P.R.J. again sometime. There's some cool stuff. It was really, and Trump took it much too literally. One of the few times I wrote to the White House is, well, I know that one piece, once they just sent by a foreign letter said, thank you for your input. This time he said, we took a special care in examining this. What was it? Same stuff Trump goes for all the time, conspiracy theories and like that. What was it? A conspiracy theory, but oh wow. Yeah, it was
That's why I can.
I was trying to get to that. I had something to say about Trump. And
That was great.
yeah, it's about the debates. And so well anyway. Oh yeah, there's nothing else about debates, yeah. See, when Trump says we need to frack oil, okay. Well I say frack is that is I don't know, he thinks are real good. I think we should just get like huge atomic era on Donald Trump. I mean, a couple of nurses on him down, and just like think it's atomic era. So all the bullshit will come out as well as oil. That's how you remove oil from the ground by fracking. You fill a bunch, fill a huge airman like with a bunch of fracking water. You cram it up his ass. But yeah, there's another thing I should touch. I don't remember which right context in the music I said this word, but I'm pretty sure it went to Narelle. It's just it's something about what was it? What else? Oh, honey, what I read to Natalie today, I forget.
Talking about the game winner.
Oh, yeah, the game. Oh, that was cool. Yeah. The one point when I was still in my hometown, before I moved down here to a larger city, see, the state I live in has a law called privacy and communication. Yeah, and that went to now today because okay, it's not okay. What it says, it's brief. It says you may not use foul, decent, or obscene language to harass, threaten, or annoy someone in the body of an electronic communication, such as an email. Okay, so okay, years ago, it's I I violated that one because okay, so the editor of the local newspaper, I called her up on the phone and I said, I want to write something for your paper. A letter to the editor about what I it wasn't police brutality, but police immorality or whatever, harassment by the police. So she said, okay, yeah, send it to me. Give me your email address, everything like that. So I spent a couple hours writing a very nice letter about how this whole bunch of fracking bullshit and occurred after that, which is not okay. But anyway, so see, this is one of the classic lines I get from that. This is always like how do you go Batman and the Gay Wonder, it's copyright statute, DC. What's it about? Batman and the Gay Wonder squealed up in the Batmobile. Following standard police procedure, they entered from both directions at once. The Gay Wonder entered from the rear. Gay cops are good at doing that. Okay, this is kind of a nonsense complaint. I think any of our officers on the squad will just laughed at that and told the woman to let it slide and just either delete the message or just block me or whatever. This would that be the proper thing to do. Well, what happened after that was totally insane. I talk about officer asshole here, not myself. Because what actually ensued was my psychiatrist figured out or she put me on Giron, which well so anyway, it's supposed to say keg with food on the bottle, but being legally blind, I couldn't read the sticker on the bottle. So I didn't know I had to take with food, so it didn't work. And so okay, so I was going to manage for a while, and then when she told me what was going on, I corrected it. And I started having a snack or whatever. That worked. So yeah, but I started to see what's the harm. We can write a small town editor. Certainly has a few words in it, like asshole, or a lot of usages of the term I can't remember here because I still live in the same state and some asshole, maybe officer asshole, come down here and arrest me for saying, but if the word is best translated into proper English as BJ. See one of the final line was officer asshole is in more dire need of a BJ than any white man in history. Okay, what's wrong with that? That is the end of like Robert Williams movie, Good Morning Vietnam. So, okay, so if he gets to say it in front of a teenage audience, it's really like PG 13, then I say it in an email to someone I don't understand. And see, the censorship clause is it go wrong. That whole thing should be ditched because it's unconstitutional. Yeah, get on to the Constitution. Yeah, I proposed that a couple places today that I'm going to do a phone call to my brother Jerome about how we should have like a constitutional amendment for clean air and water. Because a few weeks ago, the Supreme Court said that is not unconstitutional. It's not in the Constitution, but they said that there's nothing in the Constitution that gives us that right. Okay, so if that's right, the only way to fix the thing would be to add an amendment to the Constitution. Maybe the Clean Water and Air Act or whatever. I think we need that, even pretty soon. The way all this fracking is going on, if our children showing the shirt, they won't even last that long. I mean, with COVID-19 going on, and people fractifying the planet like that, well, everything's going to be gone like in maybe 20 years or something like that. So we absolutely have to stop this nonsense cold. So, yeah. So, for one thing, fracking yourself. So I think better start collecting, go frack yourself. But yeah, I mean, I think all these oil company executives, they want to keep fracking the water on the ground. Well, they just frack their little asses off because I think Trump should go with brothers. I'll be talking with enemies, otherwise, are there as well? I don't know. Anyway, the only thing use a nuclear reactor to just give you enough force that the power drill was shot a million miles away or something like that. Oh, excuse me, Brian Ferry. I still tell me one of your songs. But yeah, so I guess that's about it for fracking right now. Excuse me. But getting back to economics, well, okay, so it is the economy anyway. It's a behaving system. Therefore, it belongs in with behaviors. That's philosophy or science, whichever you want to call it. Okay, it responds to inputs and outputs. And it's just identical to what happens in behaviorism. These inputs and outputs control behavior. What does the economy do when its inputs and outputs change? Its behavior becomes different. So for one thing, I do not understand why someone could fail to see that. It's a useful analogy because it brings out new ideas. I see one issue where President Gas in the White House is well, he prefers to call it. Actually, she prefers to call it the racist in the White House. Anyway, as far as this racist guy goes, I think one thing you do is to say, go sort of my own stomping grounds, like around the University of Chicago, which is like a great school in a great state. Maybe the greatest state of all time. Maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, so, yeah. Well, I think Trump is, if he really believes that all the black people in the country admire him, why doesn't he go down to maybe Hyde Park or even further south, like Stony Island, and see if he can find some kind of a hot black lesbian wife, and say take her to the Pizza Hut or McDonald's down there or wherever, and just talk with her about the Black Panthers, because you can be educated about themselves, because really, whether or not they have nuclear weapons, they do have something better from the grid jammer. Now, what do you do? Because Trish got the first known call to one. I got one about a month ago. What happened in this call that I got is that I was dialing a local number. I was saying, okay, it's for the Center Mental Health. And whatever the case was, I had a problem with my medicine or something. So I started talking because I thought the person answered. Well, it was like a secretary over there. And all of a sudden, the guy said, "Who are you trying to talk to?" And I said, "Well, the Center of Mental Health in my own town." And it was like, "Well, this is not the right place. This is the Coast Guard in either Maine or Vermont or someplace like that. But I live in the West, Montana, land of the Big Sky Cowboy, whatever you call it." So yeah. So anyway, so what happened after the Cowboys? Well, anyway, yes, I live in the Big Sky Cowboy country, and okay. So anyway, I always remember about Danes trying to get rid of public land. Well, that's not funny. What was I saying? Before I got onto this topic. Oh yeah, about what was it? It wasn't fracking Trump's ass off, or whatever. Well, if it's important, I'm sure I think we're gonna get. Being like the economics, yeah, yeah. So one thing where Trump is definitely wrong is that He says the only around tax cuts, not tax hikes. Well, he also claims it's unconstitutional. I don't know if the Supreme Court ruled on that yet or not, because you can't trust anything Trump says because he lies so much. Even when she's in this guy down the hall in the building, I know. But yeah, so, but anyway, irregardless of what Trump says, he's wrong. Because if you're going to treat the economy as a behaving system, and test as some kind of a modifier, which is what they call the behaviorism, and you need positive and negative feedback. Because really, I'd say, what if you had a kid that you only gave him or her munchies or whatever for treats? When it comes to okay, so sort of kid that's like pee in the kitchen sink or whatever, what are you gonna do? You give her a munchie when they stop doing that? It doesn't work that way. You have to spank them on the bottom. Well, not real hard. I guess that's not even right now. But anyway, that's some kind of a punishment for doing something like kissing in the sink. If you're gonna raise a child right, because it was from both ends. Yeah. So anyway, that's why we need tax hikes to implement things we want to change. Like, for example, what Obama did with that $500. Why Republicans call it a fine, but it is not. It's like an incentive. Because if you don't pay the $500 fee or tax, then you don't have to get insurance. And I suppose in the long term, it saves you more money to actually have insurance. Anyway, it's all right. Um, so, yeah, so get on with it. Well, okay, but what about health insurance? Okay, that's what started this out. Because okay, I'd say for example, my eye doctor prescribed like a $300 a bottle eye drop. So there's no way I could possibly pay for that out of my own pocket. Whether or not the insurance pays for it depends upon a bunch of bullshit. You'll call it regulations by Trump, but the Medicaid has about how only have so much of this stuff a month. Well, okay, the problem is that okay, I was really blind and this eye for so long, and okay, so it got worse again. Now it's getting better, but so what? And it's like some of our really die because dialysis is getting away, and they don't waste the drugs. So it's done to take 3-4 drops before I hit that. Okay, so the pharmacy is doing some kind of eye drop copper or however it might help. Anyway, the problem is that if I run out, there's no way I can afford $300 for another bottle. So it's like the regulations are stupid here. It'd be more important to just reduce the regulations. So first Trump says if we're going to take away one regulation, you take away two after that. Well, this is a bunch of dumb shit stuff. It's really, you can't tear apart a complex system without causing unexpected variations. And that's what happens if you start pulling away regulations at random. Those are, as a state said, they're as a safety net, among other things. Or like with food. I mean, okay, so if we stop saying having regulations about what goes into and out of our food, then, well, what do you think would happen? You go back to eat like it was in my mother's day. She died at 94 back in 2012. So, well, then she's born quite a while ago. And she could remember from before. They had the clean air and water foods or whatever. For example, she said that one time when she was a child, her father came home with a whole can of peanut butter. They didn't have put it in plastic jars back then. And on the bottom was a bunch of sand. Well, we know we have regulations today that prevent things like that from happening. But back then they did not. So, okay, so now we're going to do, okay, so maybe Trump will pull away that regulation that says, well, you can't do that anymore for people at the peanut butter factory. And so, yeah, so, okay, what happens if they do that? Well, then Maybe we'll get sand in our peanut butter from now on. I think what's going to happen is if we make sand, a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and the peanut butter is full of sand, and the jelly is full of, I don't know, rotten grapes or something. Wouldn't work. Then people would complain. Then what we'd have to do? We'd have to go through the whole thing and make it all up again. So that doesn't work. Well, so getting back to okay, what's it called? Yeah, behaviorism. Okay, well, so what you should do really to fix the what's it called the not the welfare state, well the therapy, not the therapy, but the problems with medicine and yeah, insurance. That's what it is. And so okay, so Trump says he's just going to cut taxes, not raise them any at all. Well, okay, so but it really will work best if you hike the tax on insurance companies for that don't have pre-existing conditions and lower the sum for companies that do. Now, because those high taxes are not meant to be uh, well, forever and ever till it was cut this long. And said that they're supposed to be on to stop people from raising the prices anymore because they know damn well if they're all thinking that well we can't have it so that like that like you can't have pre-existing conditions because we need them and it's about whatever Trump and Danes are lying about. So you have to kind of grade it, skip the total amount of taxes, so that the general tendency would to be to bring the prices down. That includes insurance companies that like say want like or drug companies want like $200 for something. That's bullshit. I mean, I'm sure Trump could afford that because he's got billions of dollars. Well, okay, well, speaking of which, yeah, well, a while back, I told my psychiatrist that I wanted to, what was the word, to sue Trump. Well, she said, what then makes you think you can sue Trump? And she raised my medicine a bit because, oh, that may be a delusion. Well, I don't know about that because other people have tried it. And so some idiot somewhere in the government decided you can't sue a sitting president. Well, then, what the hell are you supposed to do? I mean, okay, so the beef is like this. Okay, at one point, okay, Trish and I, because Trish types the stuff for me, I have to dictate them, but we go on to this hilarious sequence on Facebook and for same time once, but we just started saying the first line on something like Trump is even less interesting than a fake orgasm. Well, I like that. I thought it was funny, so he puts that stuff everywhere. And so eventually, it got out of control. Okay, so we insulted the president's wife. Okay. Well, okay, big deal. I mean, we apologize for that later on. And I'm doing it again here today. And if President Trump is even watching, the problem is, though, that for some reason, it seems that both Facebook and Twitter took out the posts on both our pages. The Facebook one is like a catfish page, which was put up for the same reason well, Trump kept posting material from Jim White Star Power, my own Facebook page, the White House's Facebook page. Okay, he has the right to do that, but as far as the lawsuit goes, we tried blocking him. What do you do? He caught it on Facebook and unblocked himself. Now, really, Zuckerberg or whatever you call this guy runs Facebook. Well, he's in cahoots with Trump because he is trying to get Trump reelected this year. Well, so what? I don't want him reelected. I want him out of the White House permanently. Probably real permanent life. Anyway, so okay. So anyway, so we apologize and eventually put some of this stuff out there. But before that happened, we took some stuff, a little bit of it. Please. Trish doesn't type very fast, and so I kind of minimized it. But yeah, sent some of this to both Rachel Maddow and what's it called, MSNBC, and to Nancy Pelosi. And so I think that straightened Twitter out a lot because all of a sudden our stuff was back up there, which was good. Facebook took, well, I'm not sure if anything about it's up there or not because really I haven't been on it for a while. But anyway, it's a catfish page. It's done Murphy Sophie. His original idea was to call it a page. I wanted just to see if we could do the same thing again. Try to make an ass of himself. So yeah. So it's originally going to be Donna J. Murphy, Donna J. Trump. She's ridiculous. She didn't like Trump. Okay, so she's in control of the keyboard. So I thought it was something else. I said, well, I mean, Donna Murphy after, say, Donald Murphy. It's like, that's a fictitious person. But see, there's a Colonel Murphy, but there isn't. That's the point. It's like a name of an old anime cartoon from Japan that came out back in like 1979 or something like that. Yeah, so anyway, so there's no Colonel Murphy in the Pentagon at all. So that's kind of the point because in the what you call it when you write your profile, what was that showing about how the Colonel Murphy is in control of all the atomic bombs in the Pentagon. Okay, I said, Facebook actually got that sad. Well, I guess the president told him to or whatever. Maybe Zuckerberg thought it was funny. See, then I decided, okay, if this guy likes it, then Trump likes it, then we should change it then. So I decided to change it to the name of one of the characters in the Bible up there. I read a book, which Natalie has a copy of, by the way. That suggests all you ought to be with that should get one today. So you can follow some of the stories I tell along. So anyway, so yeah. So there's this character named Sophie Rosenkreuz. Now, as Natalie decided a couple months ago that Sophie Rosenkreuz is actually Veda's manager. Okay, now maybe I have to apologize to her too, because well, I mean, the way some of the ways I treated her in college were reprehensible. But on the other hand, she didn't seem to understand. Like the song says, if you don't like it, you don't understand. She didn't seem to understand it well. Okay, eventually, so one year she decided that she hated me, went around and told all of her friends about it. Oh, well, that did some harmful things. At another point, my fourth year in college, she changed her mind about me because she took a class together with me, and it's like I had her on my right side, and on the other side there was Eileen, this girl Eileen, who was actually prettier than Vegas was. It doesn't matter much now because Vegas is dead and stuff, and Eileen, oh, I don't know, she stopped talking to me once I started mixing up stuff with Trump with English economics. I guess you didn't understand. But so anyway, so they both copied my notes, which was kind of dumb because I never use my notes when I wrote a paper. So I don't know why I wrote them down in the first place. In fact, I think my best notes when I'm stoned, really, and they're copy and all that stuff. So well, I don't know what they were up to, but I hope it was fun. Anyway, so at one point they just decided that, well, okay, let's go and pass it. So Peter was passing a handout that day, and it's like, so she turned to me and said she couldn't pick it up because she had to go to basketball practice. Because she's like a woman athlete. That's her like Layla. I said, Layla can punch people, and all she could do was like dribble a ball over. Well, she's a talented sort. So then I promised to pick it up, and I did, because I knew one for myself anyway. Then when she went in the cafeteria of the dorm, then slowly she's gonna have to go home, but was see me as soon as she got back to wherever, well, I went around my room for hours and hours. But I had this 24-hour reserve book that probably 24-hour reserve books is that it's like they charge you $1 a minute into the return. So the book was due at 7 o'clock. So like a few minutes before then, I realized, well, I had to get going, or else like I didn't know when this one was going to show up, or if she was or not. So I ran all across the library as quick as I could, or real quick, like I should say. So well, anyway, then I dropped it off there and bookshot and wherever, and spotted him, and so and I ran back, and in that duration, the buzzer had fallen down, which indicated someone had called, and I went and asked my friend Rachel upstairs. That was her name, Rachel upstairs, but at least not upstairs. Anyway, what to do? And she said, Jim, they does not belong to anyone. Well, maybe or maybe not. That was true, but basically, I don't like to be put down and laughed at for things that are real. So anyway, so then I got scared and I didn't say anything back to her. Then I said myself, I didn't even call her. So I could have at least left her a message with the guy, the girl, whatever at the desk. Slide it in a spot and just I read for you that once and it would have been cool. So yeah, and so nothing happened then. And well, after that, I don't remember if I saw her again. I eventually saw her, but that was 5 months later. But anyway, so I thought she was a nice person. But anyway, so that's kind of it for her. So yeah. And, well, what time is it, honey? Do you know?
Yes. 7:37.
Okay. Well, that's about it for me. Do you want to come and close the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Good job.
I think there's a cord anyway.
All right. Things out.
I know there's a cord.
Careful. Okay. And yet.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, good job. Okay. I don't know what you noticed of Jim, but he has a lower voice than most people. But he has been trying real hard to speak up. So I hope you guys have understood him in his language. And hope you enjoy the show. And if you did, if you think we have some insight to perspective on things, like us on the phone. On TV, YouTube, it's hard to find a like or unlike. I hope that you guys will like us, and I hope we're entertaining with our bears and our funny stories. And if you think so, just push the little up button and give us a little push. We'll try and be back some other time, and I hope you like it. So, God bless everybody. Good luck with the world.